Alright, so hi, welcome to wherever it is that I post this. My name is Ashley Hope, and I am going to talk more about my physical health and like the things that I've been experiencing over the last month and a half. Actually really since September of last year. So I should mention I am diagnosed with autoimmune neutropenia, which basically just means my body doesn't make enough my body doesn't have enough neutrophils, which is a type of white blood cell that like helps fight off infections. So I get sick very easily and pretty often. So ever since I think August of last year, I would get sick every 2 to 3 weeks with something new. So I originally had like a sinus infection, and then I got COVID, and then I got the stomach bug, and then I got another sinus infection, and then I got a UTI, and then I get another sinus infection and laryngitis, and then it kind of just like continued to go like that every 2 to 3 weeks for a while. It's still going on. And December 13th, I went to urgent care because I was not feeling well. At this time, I did not have health insurance, so I wasn't able to go to the doctor every single time. I was able to go to the little clinic quite a few times, but not every single time that I was sick. And I do want to read off to you the symptoms that I had, like I have it on my phone here, to tell the doctor on December 13th. So my symptoms were I've been nauseous for a week, getting sick every 2 weeks for the last 2 to 3 months. A really bad headache that doesn't respond to Tylenol, runny stuffy nose, watery eyes, sore throat, sore neck, full dull and pinching pain behind front left rib cage, body weakness, dizziness, fever and chills, feeling like I'm gonna pass out, really bad nausea as I mentioned before, and unable to eat solid food. So this is what I went to the doctor for, and they tested me for the flu and for COVID, and it was negative for both. So it was just like they told me it was a viral infection. So that like kind of draws on, and like the dizziness and the lightheadedness and the chest pain from that time continued to get worse instead of go away. And I would notice it at work. I would be bending over and tying a kiddo's shoe, and when I stood up I'd be really dizzy and really out of breath and lightheaded, and I knew it wasn't normal, but at the time it wasn't too bad. So fast forward to December 31st, still dealing with these issues, but I am cleaning my room and I'm finding it incredibly hard. I have to take multiple breaks because I'm losing my breath, I'm getting really dizzy, and I feel like I'm gonna pass out, and all I'm doing is putting things in the trash bags and moving things around. And so I kind of knew that like that wasn't right, that I've never experienced that before, that issue. So the very next day I go to church and I'm struggling with the shortness of breath and chest pain and dizziness while I'm sitting at church, and I text my mom and I'm like, hey, do you think I should go to the ER? I'm still dealing with this. And she's like, yeah, you should probably go. So she wanted me to go to urgent care first. I went to urgent care, and they did an EKG and it was abnormal, and they sent me to the ER. So then I went to the ER. Oh my gosh, my friend is so sweet. Okay, hold on. One of my best friends just asked if I wanted her to bring me Starbucks for lunch or something. I don't deserve my friends. Anyway, I go to the ER. I get another EKG done because they have to do their own EKG, and it came back abnormal. They got me into a room, did a chest x-ray and some blood work to make sure I didn't have a blood clot in my lungs, because that's what they were worried about, and it wasn't that. I'm very grateful for that. But they really didn't have any answers for me. So I went home. I was very upset because I went to the hospital to get help, and I felt like I didn't really get any help. I was still like in a lot of pain, still really dizzy, still just not feeling good. Alright, hey, you're watching me, but in the past. So future me, aka me right now. I just wanted to hop on and say that I'm going to insert the video that I recorded after I left the ER the first time on January 1st, because it shows how frustrated I was with how they weren't really able to find anything and how much pain I was in, and I just think it's a really good thing to like include, so you guys can kind of see like where I was at. So I just wanted to like preface that because I didn't want to just like insert it and then you guys be like, where did this come from? So anyway, that's what you're about to see. Okay, so I'm literally driving, bawling my eyes out low-key because I just left the hospital, and I'm like, my chest hurts so bad. Like, I'm just minding my own business, like, and my chest hurts like it always does, and then I I get this really sharp pain, and I'm like, what? And like, they can't find anything wrong other than my heartbeat being irregular, and like, they don't know what's wrong. Like, the lady was like, I hate that I don't have an answer to give you, and I'm like, well, I hate that too, because I'm in so much pain, and I don't feel good. And nobody knows what's wrong. And I'm just, ow. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I literally do not know what to do. Like, I'm just worried that I'm gonna end up back in the ER tomorrow. Because, like, I've literally been out of the ER for 10 minutes and I'm like, I can't breathe and my chest hurts so bad. Like, how can you not, ow. How can you not find anything wrong? Something's wrong. Like, it's not normal. Anyway, that's all I got on here to say. And I went home, and 2 days later I went back to the ER, a different ER, and this time they did a CT scan of my chest, and they found a mass in my right lung. So that was very shocking. And that was basically all they did. They couldn't find anything, like any reason for like the rest of my symptoms, and so they just wanted me to follow up with my primary care doctor. So I made an appointment for later that week. It got rescheduled for the week after, and I went, and my primary doctor was like, I really think that your psychiatric meds aren't right. Basically saying that, like, I think it has to do with something psychological and not something physical. And I was like very upset at that because, like, I know my body and I know that this isn't right, and I know that it's not something in my head. So she's like, I was telling her how I hadn't been able to work, and she said, like, what's the issue with not being able to work? And I said, well, I can't walk or stand for long periods of time. And so she had me walk around the back of her office, and with one of the things you put on your finger that tells you what your pulse is and what your oxygen level is. And she was already really surprised at how high my heart rate was while I was sitting. But when I was walking around with that thing on my finger, it was like through the roof high. And she said, that's your issue, like something's going on with your heart. And so she put in a referral to see a cardiologist and to get a echocardiogram done and to get a pulmonary functions test done. And my echocardiogram came back and it just showed that I had trace regurgitation in 3 out of 4 of my heart valves, which is called heart valve disease. And my pulmonary functions test took over a week to come back, but it came back, I believe, this morning, and it's all normal, so that's good. So I basically have been out of work for 4 weeks now, and my appointment with my cardiologist isn't until next Friday, the 3rd of February. And then I have to call sometime this week to... Oh wait, well, I'm jumping ahead, hang on. Anyway, so this past week, I've been dealing a lot with, like, really bad headaches and confusion. And I would just be zoning out and be really confused when I come back, like, to the moment, like, because I just didn't realize what I was doing. Or I'd be driving and I would, like, be zoning out and forget where I am or how I got somewhere. And then on Saturday, I decided to make a plan to, well, this is a long video. I decided to make a plan to throw all of, like, the dirty cups in my room away and throw them out because my room was disgustingly dirty since I've really been home and I've not really been able to do much. And so I did that, but was struggling the entire time. I had to sit down multiple times. I was losing my balance. I was breathing hard. My heart rate was up, and I went to walk out the stuff in the trash bag to the trash can, which was right out front, my front door. and I came back and my heart rate was 161 and I was shaking really badly, and so I sat down. I tried to get my heart rate to come down, but it wasn't, and I ended up laying down, and it was like all of a sudden I just started like convulsing and shaking and jerking, and that had never happened to me. So I contacted my primary doctor and asked her like if maybe she could order some scans for me, or if maybe I needed to go to the ER, and she wanted me to go to the ER. So 2 days ago I went back to the ER, the first one I went to, and I let them know all the things that were going on, and they put in a referral for a for me to see a neurologist. I don't know why I forgot that. But they also did a CT scan of my head, which looks normal, which is very good. So recently I've still been struggling with the dizziness and the feeling faint and chest pain, but I also have been dealing with a lot of headaches and confusion and I guess seizure-like activity. So I'll be seeing my cardiologist on the 3rd, and I've also been looking into like POTS and IST because I feel like I have a lot of symptoms that align with those two, so I'm sure he'll probably end up testing for that, and then I'll see my neurologist. I don't have an appointment yet. I have to call and set that up. So yeah, that's kind of like everything that's been going on. Also, while I was in the ER a couple days ago, I had a low platelet count. I had leukopenia and neutropenia. As I said at the beginning of this, I've always had neutropenia, probably since I was about 15 or 16 years old. And leukopenia, I'm not really sure if that's new for me or not, but the low platelet count is definitely new. So that is what's going on with my health. And yeah, I want to continue to update on like how it's going as I go through all of my appointments. And yeah, that's all I have for now. So basically, the things that I'm not really able to do are stand for long periods of time, walk for long periods of time. I get dizzy from when I lay down to stand up, or if I'm sitting to stand up. My heart rate is almost always over 120 beats per minute. My Apple Watch always lets me know if it goes over 120 beats per minute, and it goes off like nonstop every day. I probably should change that setting, but it's fine for me right now. Let's see. I will get dizzy randomly just sitting. So I'm trying to think, what else can't I do? I can't go up and downstairs. The last time that I went to my basement to get something, I ended up passing out. So I avoid the basement like the plague. I do not go downstairs anymore. My dad does my laundry now. Like I can't do it. I can't really lift heavy things because it makes my heart rate go up. I take beta blockers, which is supposed to help my heart rate go down. And I think that's it. So that's my physical health. And I'll have to do another video on my mental health.